Hey there guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today we are going to be talking about a more recent movie.
Yeah.
I mean, more recent than a lot of the stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
That's really, really entertaining. Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm. And for this review, since it is a recent movie and it isn't like as insanely well known or as like popular as it should be, we're gonna start out the first half of the review being non-spoilers, because this is the kind of movie you have to go in not having like any clue what it is.
Yeah, so we won't talk about any major spoilers until later on in the video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie, you're good for now.
Mm-hmm.
But
when we get to the spoilers, stop and go watch this movie because it's great.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Seriously. So
the plot of this movie.
it starts out as simple as possible.
Yes.
On purpose.
This group of college students are going to one of their uncle's cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway.
Mm-hmm.
And on their way there, they stop up at a gas station, and there's this old gas station attendant who's telling them they're all going to die.
Very, very over the top, just very cliche dude.
Yes. And then they get to the cabin, they start partying. You have the athletes, the stoner,
Mhm.
the blonde girlfriend, the virgin, the bookworm character, and they unleash something evil in the woods, and they have to defeat it. Now, I know this is the most original sounding plot in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point of the movie,
Is that the plot's unoriginal.
yeah,
Like-
the entire purpose is to play off of the tropes.
Because when all that's happening, you also cut to these two characters in this control room, seemingly watching them
Mhm.
and seeing what they're doing, kind of like messing with them a little bit on their course to get to the cabin, but you don't know why exactly.
Yeah.
There's a bit more to it than that. But the whole thing of them in the cabin, we're not saying that it's meant to be cliche as like, this is meant to be a throwback movie. No, this is actually part of the plot, is that that's incredibly cliche.
Exactly.
That's the basic gist of the plot we can get into without spoiling
Yeah.
why. So, the movie is really funny.
It's a really funny movie.
It's written by Joss Whedon,
Mhm.
so of course it's going to be like witty and funny.
Yeah.
All the acting is great. You have Chris Hemsworth,
Mhm.
who made this movie pre-Thor, but the movie got shelved for so long that it came out a week before the Avengers.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah,
It also has the stoner who's Fran Kranz, I think his name is.
yeah.
He's fantastic.
He's awesome.
I love him
He's one of
too.
the best characters in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then, I forget the actors' names, but the two characters in the control room, they're also two of the standout characters.
Yeah.
They're hilarious. That's the opening scene of the movie. It's just them talking
Yeah.
about how one of their wives baby-proofed the house.
Yep.
That's the opening scene.
And it's hilarious.
Great. Their interactions together, their chemistry together is perfect. I could watch a whole movie of just them.
Yeah.
The movie has good atmosphere.
Mhm.
When it gets to the actual horror elements, that's all well done. And when it gets to the climax, the stuff that we can't talk about right now, it gets insane.
Yeah.
It just goes all out.
Absolutely crazy.
And it's just a very entertaining, very fun, very smart movie.
Mhm.
That, again, judging by the plot synopsis, doesn't sound like it's a smart film.
No.
But it really is. It's easily one of the most unique horror movies to come out in recent time.
Yeah. It's a very self-aware movie.
It is self-aware, in a way kind of like Scream, where it knows the cliches,
Yes.
but it does it in a totally different way.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of
Meta kind of idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
very
it's-
unique too. It's
but
not
yeah.
something that you're going to be constantly watching this and saying, "Oh man, this is just
Yeah.
Scream rehash."
It's not like Scream where it's like, all the movies are movies, so let's make fun of the cliches. It's not like that,
Mhm.
but it still finds its own way to make fun of the cliches.
Yeah.
You got great lines like when they're in the cabin and the cellar door opens out of nowhere. It just goes like,
The wind must have blown it open.
That makes what kind of sense?
and stuff like that. And just like making fun of like, we have to split up. What? No.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that where it just plays off of the cliches just perfectly.
It's good.
And then when we get to like the big reveal, it is a very unique twist and very, you don't really see it coming exactly.
No,
It's
not
like-
at all.
And the whole movie kind of leads up to it.
Yeah.
You're like, why are these guys in the control room? What are they doing? Why are they messing with these people? And like, it builds up until the great reveal. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really fun
Yeah.
movie.
If you like horror movies, definitely check it out.
Yeah, this
And-
was made for horror fans.
Yeah, and if you're watching the beginning of it and you think it's boring and like cliched, stick with it because it's definitely a unique movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So that's spoiler free.
Yeah.
Now,
spoiler-free.
because we want to actually talk about this movie instead of just like say how good it is vaguely,
Mhm.
because this movie's awesome. So from now on, this is just spoilers.
Yep. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it.
Go
first.
watch it.
All right.
So spoiler.
Spoilers. Well, the big reveal is that the reason they have these people in this cabin like this is to perform a sacrifice to the gods who have just this very specific set of rules that's essentially all the tropes to a horror movie.
Yes.
And so they do this with multiple things. There are little cameras you can see other places around the world where they're doing this at the same time.
You see like Tokyo, and there's like a ring girl kind of attacking these students in school and stuff.
And like just all kinds of different weird movies
Monsters
going
and
on.
stuff like that. Yeah, they can almost be like their own movies in themselves.
Exactly.
If you wanted to. And then like they are manipulating them, which is what makes it great. Like the scene where Chris Hemsworth is all just like, "All right, we're gonna stay together. We're gonna like work together on this," and then they pump in this gas, and he goes, "Okay, we should split up."
We should split up, and it.
Yeah, and so it's like them manipulating them to force these cliches onto them.
Yeah.
Or like with Chris Hemsworth and his girlfriend are out in the woods, and it's like, "Oh, it's too dark out," and then they light up one of the spots
Yeah.
for them. Or even one of the things like I actually didn't notice this the first time I saw it. It's the one thing I noticed on rewatch. There's a scene where the main girl is holding a knife, and they press this button, and a little spark goes off to make her drop it.
Yeah, that was another thing.
And like, that's something I didn't notice at first, but like, I get it, because they always drop the knife. So like, it plays with those cliches so well. And then you get to the climax,
Yes.
where the stoner and the main girl actually get into the facility and just unleash everything.
Yeah. So something worth mentioning is earlier on in the movie, the way they release this evil is they're in the basement of the cabin, and there's all these strange sort of artifacts, and each of them are looking at a different one. Each of them are playing with a different one, and it turns out that each of these, depending on which one is played with first or whatever, summons whatever evil is going to be killing them. So there's actually a really, really fun portion of the movie where the people in the control room are placing bets on what things, and you can see a ton of movie references on there, quite a few Evil Dead ones.
The raping tree.
Yeah, it's a funny concept.
It's great. And then the merman.
Yeah, the merman, that whole thing.
I just think it would have been cooler with a merman.
He was holding the conch shell.
It was right there. And then it finally comes full circle at the end when he
Yeah.
gets killed by the merman. That was the best.
It's completely ridiculous.
The unicorn just stabbing the dude with the horn. That was the best.
There are so many ridiculous monsters that all get released at once by them.
There's even a Hellraiser type of character, Pinhead
with
type
like
character
with like saws coming out of his head.
Yeah.
It's like Sawhead, basically.
Basically, and they have a thing like the puzzle box that they almost open. It's basically that's their version of Hellraiser, of Pinhead.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really sort of cool little nods to other horror movies.
Yeah, there's a ton of those.
It's countless. You could spend hours searching and looking at every frame and trying to count them all.
But yeah, the ending of this movie is just pure insanity because everything gets unleashed.
Everything gets unleashed.
And you got that one scene where all the SWAT guys are right in the middle of the elevators.
Yeah, and just like they get destroyed. There's giant snakes and everyone's killed.
They were just seeing that in theaters the first time, just like being like, holy shit.
Yeah, because we actually saw this in theaters together.
Yeah.
And that was an experience.
That was. And then you get to the ending where the director comes out, and she's played by Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
'Cause
out of nowhere. For no reason.
Though, to be honest, that role would have been more fitting for Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, I actually could see that.
Yeah, that role would have been perfect for Jamie Lee Curtis. But you know what?
Sigourney Weaver was.
Yeah, that's not a downside.
No, it was cool, and that whole scene where it's kind of explained to them why things are the way they are and why they have to do this in order to save the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they still stop them, and the ending of the movie is just so ridiculous. Just a god fist punches out of the ground and slams down, and that's the end.
It's just great. Like, this movie, I didn't even know what to expect going in.
No, I knew absolutely nothing about the movie going in. I hadn't even seen a trailer. I literally had just heard, oh, this is good. Justin, you want to go see this?
Yeah, I was
And we went
like,
and saw
why
it.
not? It's a horror movie.
So we saw it, and we were surprised.
Pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised. It's so good. And
Yes.
I recommend it to people constantly, too.
Uh-huh.
It's just a ton of fun.
Again, a great play on the horror cliches and tropes. I mean, the movie's called Cabin in the Woods. Like, already that title was, like, cliched.
Yeah, the whole point of it is, like, it's a cliche.
Yeah, it does it in a more unique way than, like, Scream does. I'm not trying to put down Scream.
No, we're not
It's a
downing
great
on
movie.
Scream at all.
But,
it's
like,
just different.
Yeah, Scream is more just like, oh, those are movies. and get it the cliche. But this one is just like, no, we have to have those cliches. Like, it's important. We have to appease the gods for some reason. That's what they like. I will say the stuff in the control room and all that stuff, I actually think is better than the actual horror, kind of portion of it.
I wouldn't disagree.
I'm not saying that stuff's bad, but
no, it's not bad.
But when they are kind of being chased by the zombies, the redneck zombies,
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference. That part's not as exciting and more kind of cliche, just running away from the killer. But then when it cuts them in the control room, it's just like, okay, I'm really engaged in this.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
It's crazy.
So out of 10,
Out of 10, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Because again, the movie is not perfect. Some of the actual horror elements aren't as thrilling. They are more kind of by the books.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like some of the horror stuff was there just for the sake of having that horror element for the...
But everything else is great.
Yeah.
It's so unique and so entertaining. I watch this movie all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always just putting this movie on for fun because it's just that good.
It's a fun movie.
Come on. Fucking zombie arm.
And speaking of horror and comedy, the next movie we will be reviewing is An American Werewolf in London.
An excellent, excellent combination of horror and comedy. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.